and it's just raw nerves the whole time for him. And
even when they show you Rock Hudson's face, it looks like they've just like stitched all of his skin together and stuff.
Right. Because when they reveal it, there's just stitches everywhere. Like he's like kind of like definitely a more human side of it, but like a Frankenstein monster kind of thing.
Right. Exactly. A very handsome Frankenstein.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. If I'm going to be Frankenstein's monster,
that's what you want to look like.
The way to go.
I mean, yeah, he comes out and he looks like a Hollywood leading man type.
Yeah.
And the thing that's fascinating about this performance, that maybe I don't know if you know this, but Rock Hudson, though being like a romantic leading figure for a lot of these romance films, throughout his entire career, he was a closeted gay man.
Oh.
And he, assuming that it would tank his career, he never told anyone.
Yeah.
And people didn't find out until, I want to say it was the 70s or 80s. There were rumors, but he officially declared it around the time. And he was one of the first celebrities to die in the AIDS crisis of HIV.
Oh, wow.
He died, I want to say it was 1984 or 85. So
Damn.
He was one of the most famous people at the time, one of the first most famous people to die.
That's a shame.
Because of that, yeah. Well, and the thing so while he was making this movie, he was living a double life.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, on his face, all you can see is one of the most, and I mean, you can tell because I've seen some of his other performances like Giant and All the Heavens Allows. This is such a crazy divergent performance for him.
Is it? Okay.
Where like traditionally he's like very charming and very very outgoing, and in this it's like the sadness in his eyes and the way that
opposite.
Yeah. And the way that, and I mean, it's perfect for the character.
He's depressed most of this film because he's just trying to figure out what the fuck he's really doing.
Yeah, and he doesn't feel like he's having like an identity crisis in this film, and you can almost feel like you're watching an actor, a real person, work through that on the screen, because this performance looks like none of his other performances.
Not to mention, even like, let's say we go to the party scene where he gets absolutely hammered drunk.
Oh yeah.
And it's like that would probably just start reflecting his life in a way, just because he's in this Malibu penthouse of
going to parties
next to the beach with all these prestigious people, and I'm sure that's what Rock Hudson was doing all the time, in this Malibu beach house, whatever. and in this scene, he gets to just bare all, just let it all out because he's absolutely drunk. Yeah. And in this scene, he's going back and forth between his old life and his new life, and people are getting upset at him about that. Yeah. So now that you've told me that just makes that scene so much more powerful, and just that's unbelievable. Like, it really shows.
It really adds like moving layers to this performance where you're watching it and you're watching a guy work through his own crisis. His own crisis of having to be having to contain himself and not being able to reveal who he truly is to the people that he's talking to, because that's just it. Is that at times you're watching this guy and he's just like,
and he wants to.
Yeah, you can see he's sitting there watching and he's just like, I'm still me. Like, I'm not different than the guy I was before. I just have a new body.
Powerful shit.
Yeah.
Holy hell. I can't get over it.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
So it's absolutely insane when he starts playing, and Rock Hudson, an amazing decision in the first place to cast two actors in this in the first place, which apparently, by the way, it was Rock Hudson's idea.
Holy shit.
That first of all,
you think he read the script and was like, "This is the."
Well, first of all, crazy. Frankenheimer didn't want to cast Rock Hudson. He had seen his previous performances, and he was like,
"He thought you're not capable."
Yeah, I was
of
like,
this.
he's not capable of this.
You're the leading man. Romantic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So either way, his agent convinced him that he knew Rock Hudson, and he was like, Rock Hudson could do this.
Yeah.
and he got it. And when he did the role, and when he came up, and he was the one who gave Frankenheimer the idea of because they were originally going to just do Rock Hudson as the old guy too, but just put makeup on him.
Oh, okay.
And he was like, no, you can't do that. That's not what you're going to do.
It needs to be totally different people.
Yeah. So he told him to get a different actor, and he even recommended the actor. So they got John Randolph, and he studied with John Randolph and basically picked up on his mannerisms. So it's Rock Hudson mirroring John Randolph's body movements and facial reactions. Because
what I would love to do then is go back and watch a couple of these guys' movies just to rewatch this movie and see what they're doing playing off each other.
If you watch a movie like All That Heavens Allows or Giant, you really will find Rock Hudson almost unrecognizable from this movie.
That's so crazy. I was already impressed with the casting choice just to choose someone that's more of a leading romantic and have him do this where he has to try to be the leading man, but he can't. And
where he's like shy and hurt and like
his own personal quarrels with that's anguish. Unbelievable, unreal performance. Holy shit!
Yeah, and I mean the middle part of this movie is a lot of Rock Hudson just like trying to adjust to this life where he's like, I can't be who I really am because I'm supposed to be living this second life, this lavish life, this Hollywood life, this artist life, where he's trying to get in with the youth. And I mean that scene specifically that I think is supposed to be, in another context, it would be liberating. That scene where he goes into the grape wine crushing party.
And at first, I think it kind of is like at first because you don't know where it's leading.
The filmmaking is like horrifying.
Dude, it straight up was like all I could think of was Midsummer and The Wicker Man. Because it's just like it was kind of culty in a way. Yeah. They were doing that weird parade at the beginning, and it reminded me of The Wicker Man.
The black and white makes the grape look like blood, and it's covering them, and they're all like trying to get him in on it. Right. And even when he gets thrown into it, and he's like shouting no, and then he eventually starts shouting yes, yes.
Yeah. And like that was one moment though I didn't get like a horror vibes. You still did though.
See, because the thing for me is that
that was like the one moment I had for him where he felt truly like liberated in a sense that he could not maybe be himself, but just be free to be whoever he thought he was. That kind of thing. So I still felt like a bit of...
because I think that the scene plays for him as liberating, but I still think that the filmmaking is really horrifying. Like, I still think that, like even in those final shots, like, it's almost like there's
very fever dreamish kind of thing. Yeah.
Very freaky.
No, I get that, for sure.
And, as it kind of goes on, he starts being not really able to...